Yo, 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 from my apartment in New York City. Yo, whoa, whoa. Hey, come on in. Yeah, come on in. You, bring everybody. Come on in. It's the Latinos Out Loud podcast. What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Rachel La Loca. Little different location. We're not in studio today. We're in my studio apartment on the Upper East Side of New York City. It's kind of bigger than what you would think a studio is, but it's very much like a small cottage. It's more like tall than it is wide, but you know, some girls like that. I do. So hey, what's up, everybody? It's Latinos Out Loud, aka LOL if you like acronyms. Boy, do we have a show today. I am so excited to be doing this remotely. I mean, on Dominican Independence Day. Whoop, whoop. I mean, it's so good to like celebrate Dominican independence because there's a bunch of events happening in New York and everybody's excited and the memes are memeing and the GIFs are GIFing. It's just like out there. It's just so exciting just to be Dominican and to absorb all of that pride. I'll be putting something up on Instagram at some point today. But right now we are here to do an episode of Latinos Out Loud that I am so excited for. Oh my God, you guys, like I have told you before that when I get to interview my sheroes and comedian heroes, if you will, like it just sparks something in me that I cannot explain. It sparks this like this joy, this appreciation as someone who has studied comedy. Shout out to the Upright Citizens Brigade, shout out to the People's Improv Theater, shout out to all the private lessons that I've taken. And all of that is like amounting to some pretty amazing things that I'm working on. But none of it would be possible without my four sisters, those that came before me. Those that paved these gilded paths of sketch comedy, and shout out to all the stand-ups and all the characters out there doing their thing. But if it weren't for these sheroes that I'm talking about, and heroes, let's include the men, I would not be doing what I'm doing. I would not have been, you know, this inclined to do comedy had it not been for Saturday Night Live. And on today's show, I interview a Saturday Night Live alum. So I'm just so excited to talk about the second best hospital in the galaxy, which is a new show. And I had the privilege of interviewing Maya Rudolph, Natasha Lyonne, and Cirocco Dunlap. And these are three ferocious women in the industry now with an animated series that's like sci-fi meets comedy meets mental health awareness, believe it or not. You must watch it. I'm going to do some more plugging information, but let me just plug some other stuff before we get to that interview. It has been a busy few weeks. Your girl been out in the streets. Every day I'm hustling. Yeah, I'm like, you know, not drug dealing or anything, not that kind of hustling, but like hustling my comedy, hustling just, you know, going to events and like being hired to do stuff. So first I gotta shout out Grupo Planeta Publishing for inviting me to host Amalia Andrade's book tour. I was host of the New York stop on her national book tour, and I had the pleasure of interviewing her at an amazing restaurant on 14th Street here in New York City called La Nacional. Beautiful, just beautiful. And let me tell you something. Amalia Andrade with this book talking about mental health awareness, that's what this is all about. It's called No sé cómo mostrar donde me duele. And it's really an amazing book that's not like a book. Like it's a book, but like, you know, if you're not on video, you can't see this right now, but look at all these fun visuals inside. There's pictures, and God, I love pictures in a book. You know what I mean? Reading is fundamental, but with pictures, like reading is fundamental. And this book is all about the mental. The way this book is divided, I also thought was like really amazing in that the chapters are separated by emotion. So there's celos, there's alegría, sorpresa, inventario, decepción. So it's just like a manual for emotions, and I highly recommend it. It's in Spanish. And shout out to Amalia Andrade, this amazingly talented Colombian author. And let me tell you, does she bring them out? Bring them out. This place was freaking packed. I mean, and y'all, shout out to the Colombian people because I love your food, I love your coffee, I really love everything about Colombia, okay? But you talk really fast, okay? I thought Dominicans talked fast, but wows. And this interview was kind of challenging for me because it was all in Spanish. I mean, I made it Spanglish, and we're gonna do some inserts of that interview on this episode. But like, let me tell you something. I really was tested. Like, my retired junior high school Spanish teacher of a father is probably not gonna be so proud. Pero, yes, he will. What am I saying? But I tried, and I tried to represent for us. But let's not forget that just because there's distance between me and my language or the language doesn't mean there's distance between me and the cultura. The culture runs through my veins, through my aorta, through the arteries, through the hemispheres of my brain, through it all. And I felt really close to the culture that day. And the other beautiful thing that I think came out of that event was that everybody was open. The hearts were open and emotions were flying, boom, boom, all over the place like lasers on that, 80s backdrop that we used to take class pictures on. Remember the laser background? That's what I felt like. I was in this like crazy space of emotions that were just being outpoured, and no one was judging. No one was judging Judge Judy. Nobody was there. Judge Mathis, none of them were there. And it was really beautiful. So shout out to Grupo Planeta, shout out to Monica, and everybody who invited me to be a part of that amazing event. I really had a great time. And definitely check out the book. The other event that I've got to shout out that I went to was, your girl was invited to the 10-year anniversary celebration of the Jimmy Fallon late night show, Late Night with Jimmy Fallon. It was amazing. I mean, I got to meet, again, more of my heroes. Jimmy Fallon is one of my heroes, and like, he's like the king of breaking character on SNL. And every time he broke character on SNL, God, it was so funny. You guys remember that sketch? I got a fever, and the only cure is more cowbell. Remember that cowbell sketch? Like, him laughing in that sketch, even if I just conjure that up in my brain, it makes me laugh, it makes me chuckle. So got to go to this event. It was really incredible in Rockefeller Center, and it was not that many people. It wasn't this grandiose, event with like hundreds of people. It was intimate. It was beautiful. They had this hot chocolate bar. Oh my gosh. Let me just tell you, like, they had the like torch going to flame the marshmallow and the M&Ms you could top it with. Like, it's crazy. Go to my Instagram page because I did a recap of the whole event at Rachel La Loca, RACHEL La Loca. And you could see the hot chocolate bar. Talking about hot chocolate, I'm at Questlove. Okay, yeah, I am such a fan of Questlove, you guys. Like, not even like that, like on a professionally speaking, like Questlove has an amazing podcast, okay, that I talk about so much in my course. By the way, I'm teaching y'all, I think I mentioned, but like, I am 4 lectures in with my advanced radio and podcasting course at CUNY Brooklyn College, Brooklyn, okay? So exciting. So we bring up Questlove's podcast all the time, and it's like killing it in the award space, just getting nominated and winning Webbies and Ambies and all the fantastic awards that acknowledge us podcasters out there. So shout out to Questlove, talk to him, and I even went up to him like while he was DJing, and that's like the most annoying thing I think for a DJ. It's like they have their headphones on. It's like, hey Questlove, want to have a conversation? Go ahead and crossfade and let me know when you're ready to talk. Like, they're DJing, but I was that girl. But I said something quickly to him while he was DJing, and then when he stopped DJing, I talked to him again. So I was like, I just want to shout you out, like, podcaster, you're killing it, like, it's so great. And I didn't tell him I was a judge, because like, I am a judge. I'm a member of the International Academy of Digital Arts and Sciences. We are this judging body for the Webby Awards and for the Signal Awards, and I'm also a member of the Podcast Academy, TPA. So like, I didn't want to bring that up because that's not what it was about, people. It was really about the acknowledgement of him putting out stellar award-winning work for us to consume. And it goes beyond Questlove just being part of the Roots and the Jimmy Fallon band that plays every night on his show. Like, what a multifaceted performer, y'all. Like, it was just nice to be in the presence of all these multidimensional, multifaceted, amazing talent. And Higgins. Let's talk about Higgins. I met Higgins, who you know is Jimmy Fallon's sidekick. He's the announcer. I learned more about him too. He's also working on Saturday Night Live. So he's at 30 Rock, like going up and down in between floors, doing his writing thing for Saturday Night Live. And I was really just amazed, because you always want to learn about what you can do with your arsenal, right? Like, what I have learned, the experience that I have gathered, what else can I do with this aside from just being a podcaster and a comedian? Higgins taught me a thing or two that day. I'm like, wow. Just when I thought like my career was only on one path, this path may lead to a fork in the road. And I'm going to fork that fork, okay? I'm going to fork that fork, so forking bad. I want to go down all the different prongs, tongues, whatever you call them, of that freaking fork, okay? So anyway, I just want to shout out NBC for inviting me to this amazing 10-year celebration of Jimmy Fallon, late night show. It was really incredible to be in the building and to hear Jimmy's speech and him thanking everybody. It was like cast and crew and publicity people, and how appreciative he was, because I mean, he wouldn't be able to do the show without all those people in the room. So it was nice to be a part of it. Okay, now to the main event. Now this is really exciting, you guys, because again, like, when I get invited to these junkets and I get to talk to some of my personal comedy heroes, it's like an awakening for me. First of all, I have to tell myself, you are worthy. You worked your way into this Zoom room or whatever it is, this virtual junket room. You worked your way here, Rachel La Loca. You talk about these people a lot. You study their comedy. You know, I have studied Maya Rudolph's comedy. You know, Bobby B, you know, it's sweater weather, like all those sketches, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know them like the back of my head because I've seen them 7,000 times, because I'm trying to learn her cadence and her like timing and how she sings and what she does on Weekend Update, how she could portray a black woman, a white woman, a mixed breed. Like, it's just incredible to watch her talent and come down different conduits, different comedy conduits, you know? But she is one of the queens of sketch comedy, and I'm sorry, that is just a fact, okay? And then Natasha Lyonne. I mean, I fell in love with Natasha Lyonne on Orange is the New Black. You know, her character on Orange was just so deep and layered. She nailed it. Nailed it so much that like Netflix was like, oh, you ain't going nowhere. You staying with us, baby. And Natasha Lyonne is killing it right now. So without further ado, let's get into this interview. That rhymed. Bars on bars on bars. I'm going to go grab a chocolate bar and let's let this interview play out real quick. All right? Thank you so much. I'm going to be bold this year with everything from my glasses to my nail polish. Yes. I am so honored to be in your presence right now. Three of the most ferocious females in comedy, in showbiz, my sheroes, my comedy heroines. I just have to say that out loud because it's Latinos Out Loud, and I say everything Latino out loud. So I just want to kick off by saying that I'm a Latina child of sketch comedy here in New York City. I'm so inspired by all of you. Thank you for your time on my show. So the year is Oh, no, thank you. So the year is 14,002. And to me, it's attention grabbing to see that we're talking at all about anxiety eating parasites and mental health in outer space in the second best hospital in the galaxy. So I know a few of those parasites that exist in human form, just saying that out loud, okay, in 2024. But at Latinos Out Loud, we like to say that we entertain, enlighten, and educate the community through our creative. So this question is for all three of you brilliant females. How does the series do that through your eyes? Entertain, enlighten, and educate.
I think that's such a beautiful thing to bring up. I think this show, one of the things that made me fall in love with it so deeply right away was talking about things like anxiety, I think, and making, and not bringing it to the forefront, but also having a sense of humor about it. And I love what you said about how we're still talking about it in the year 14,002. I mean, if that doesn't say what it's like to be a human today, you know, that's everything in and of itself. So I love that, still tackling the same relationship issues, but on a larger scale, on a more spatial scale. Mm-hmm. Is that a thing?
Galactic scale.
Galactic.
I mean, it is beautiful that Cirocco's writing and vision for this thing retains the human condition, like the core of humanity, despite all of these elevated, stakes and sort of it's a so high concept but that core relationship of Sleech and Clack, Kiki Palmer and Stephanie Zhu is really, beautiful and so human. Or even, Kiki's relationship to her mother, played by Trace Ellis Ross, is like so classic. Like those dynamics, in a way, of course, they don't change. No matter if we download our consciousness and ship our bodies to Mars or we don't. It's like we're still stuck with being ourselves. It's beautiful.
Thank you. And Cirocco, do you have anything to add to that? Because you as showrunner, I mean, you have a different lens. So I'd love to hear from you.
I mean, I think it's very funny that we can send rovers to Pluto, and I'm still gonna sweat if I get on stage and talk to people or have to meet somebody at a party. Like, to not have handled our collective mental health too. And yes, it is. We have our own individual anxieties or depressions, and all of that is painful and deep and real, but also collectively, I don't know if now more than ever, or it's always this way, but we are always struggling. Everything is a struggle, and everyone feels alone in that. And I loved the idea of making a project that would make, in some way, people feel less alone in that sort of painful anxiety that makes you feel isolated, or like you can't be understood.
You really hit the nail on the head. Because personally, I got 2 young kids with COVID right now. I'm fighting it myself.
Oh, no.
And when I watched the episode, it relieved my anxiety, learning about early anxiety.
Good. Yeah.
My last question before they rush me out of here is, based on your experience and without giving away any spoilers, what are some of your favorite standout moments from the show, from production, from writing, from casting, from any part of this process?
For me, I love John Waters as Saint Tonk, and I love Vlam's interaction with John, and I love seeing all of the Culkin clan together. Kieran and Mac and Rory and the whole gang's all here, I think is really special.
So one of our characters, Dr. Ploup, is a bird. You could call him an alien, but he's really a bird. Let's be honest. Yeah. And he has 4 brothers. All of them are very empathic, and they can feel each other's feelings, and they're hyper close, too close. And all of them are played by the other Culkins. So that's who she's talking about for the Culkins. And then Vlam is the robot character played by Maya, who has lived for 20 billion years, who knows how long, never ask a lady's age. And she has, of course, had a romantic relationship with John Waters, who plays this mad scientist, Saint Cathonk.
My dream come to life.
I also love Sam Smith in the show, who's one of the stars of the show. It's just a beautiful voice and character.
Beautiful voice, yeah, so wonderfully talented, and kind of a little bit of a villain, a little bit of a friendly villain.
We're also so excited to hear from Bowen Yang and Abby Jacobson. Oh my gosh, this is
They're just wonderful. Yeah,
plentiful of talent. Thank you so much. I'm told to wrap, but thank you again for your talent and your time and your inspiration. And if I could just shout out Maya Rudolph real quick.
Do it.
Oh gosh, I'm not going to cry. I promise myself I won't. Maya, well, I've been studying sketch comedy, UCB. I have a show at the Pit. I've learned so much from you. I quote your sketches. I quote your impressions. We talk about you in the writer's room with the all-female comedy troupe that I have called Hilarious. You have no idea how much you have fed our souls through the year. Bobby B, thank you so much for everything that you have done for comedy and for us girls trying to make it.
Wow, thank you. It's so nice to hear that. Sometimes you have to be reminded that people see what you're doing. So thank you for saying all that. That means the world. Bobby B!
It's sweater weather, people. It's sweater weather. Good.
It's sweater weather. Not in New York, it's not.
It's double sweater weather in New York. It's crazy out here.
Double, triple that sweater up.
Thank you so much. We're going to push this show because it's so wonderful to see these female creatives doing something so different. So congratulations. Felicidades, as we say, huepa. Okay. Thank you for supporting Latinos Out Loud. I hope to see you guys again real soon. Blessings. Thank you. God bless you.
Clock, are you meditating? Can I put this bomb next to you?
That's the least stressful question I've been asked today.
Welcome to the future. It's the year 14,002, and you're in the Urgulon galaxy.
When I say something, say anything at all. It seems that when I try, I always take the fall.
All doctors report immediately. And window cleaners.
A case came in this morning that only 2 delusional narcissists would attempt, and they asked for you.
In a fun way or a weird way? You have a parasite that eradicates anxiety.
I heard you'll bend the rules to help people.
For science, not kindness.
I apologize for my visible arousal.
We have a chance to cure anxiety. We have to take it.
If you pursue this, you could die. Or worse, lose your licenses.
I'm okay. I'm water resistant.
You're such a suck up. I really admire it. Stop playing with my portal.
We're doing this against my every instinct. We're putting everyone at risk, but imagine all the people it can help.
I will now sing my planet's song of orgasmic death to lighten the mood.
Oh my God, you guys, they told me that wasn't amazing. And we're back. Yes. That was an amazing interview. Yo, I mean, it's so exciting again to just be talking to some of my heroes. As you heard, the second best hospital in the galaxy is out now on Amazon Prime. Check it out. It came out on February 23rd, so get on it. Lots of fun episodes, lots of fun topics that are broached through this program. And shout out to all these ferocious females. I mean, doing it. Female power, y'all. I mean, we are coming upon Women's History Month. Speaking of, you guys, we have a show. Her hilarious show is back. I mean, I don't know why I keep saying that because we ain't going nowhere. We never left, okay? Take note. But we have a show on March 9th, which is part of the Knockout Festival, which is an all-female comedy festival here in New York that's taking place. So the March 9th show at the People's Improv Theater is happening. It's March 9th at 8:30 p.m. You can get your tickets at the pit-nyc.com. That's the PIT. People's Improv Theater, the pit-nyc.com. You can also go to knockoutfestival.com and tickets are available there. You can also go to my Instagram page. There's a ticket link in the bio, and in my link tree. Who doesn't love a good link tree? You know, especially in the spring. I'm gonna feed the water and like just watch the bark and the leaves leave, and well, hopefully the leaves don't leave. I'm gonna leave that alone. Okay, enough tree references, but check out me check me out. I can talk, I promise. Rachel La Loca, R-A-C-H-E-L La Loca. And you can go to my bio or Linktree and you can copy your own tickets to our March 9th show, which is just filled with so much female, like, funny. You're gonna see a character come back that you haven't seen in a long time. Rosanna Santana from the show Oh, You Think I'm Stupid is gonna be there. I'm really excited to perform that character who's been around for a while. I mean, she's got her own merch line, for crying out loud. So come check out Rosanna Santana. You can also see some, if you ever wondered about the origin of female sex toys, there's a sketch that's going to explain that pretty well. Shout out to all the females working on Hilarious, this militia of amazing women, just like we come together like freaking Voltron. And we form, and we fun, and we funny, and then we perform for you guys. So please come to our show. There's a lot of work that goes into all of these shows. I mean, we're sketch comedians, for crying out loud. We can't just show up. It's not like that. It takes prep, takes time, takes writers meetings that we have over Zoom and in person. It takes thinking, it takes process, it takes taking away from like everything else that we're doing out there, hustling, momming, making money, you know, to put this show together. So it's really nice to have a flavorful audience out there who's receptive and open to all these theatrics. I mean, there's lighting cues, there's tech, there's music. Oh, this show is so musical, you guys. It's like a dream come true. I've always wanted Hilarious to be like, you know, music heavy, and this show is definitely musical. And I'll tease it by saying one more thing. You may see some burlesque, okay? That's burlesque, Hilarious burlesque. There may be some burlesque, so you should come. Well, you probably will after seeing the burlesque part of the show, but you should definitely join us on March 9th at 8:30 p.m. at the People's Improv Theater. That's on 29th Street between 6th and 7th here in New York City. So go to the pit-nyc.com for your tickets. Okay, this has been an amazing, robust show. I want to thank my guests. I want to thank the people who invited me to these wonderful events that I recapped earlier in the show. Make sure to check out the second best hospital in the galaxy, streaming on Amazon Prime. And shout out to you. And you, the LOLeros, for making this show shine. I really appreciate all of the comments that have come in and the DMs that continue to come in and all of the positive reinforcement. You know, I do this because I love it. I do this. I don't do this for all these awards that you see back here, although, you know, this is a nice one that I often do my exercise with. I'm holding up the Signal Award, which also serves as a really healthy kettlebell, rather. Not a cowbell, but kettlebell for workouts. So, but that's not why I do it. I do it because I am so fulfilled by doing it. I'm doing it because there's a void in this community for this kind of content, and I love being the one to bring it to the LOLeros. So please continue to support me and this show and the hilarious and those amazing, fearless women that are part of this rotating cast. March 9th, I'll plug it one more time, the People's Improv Theater, the pit-nyc.com, or you can go to my profile on Instagram, Rachel La Loca, R-A-C-H-E-L La Loca. And you can also follow us at We Are Latinos Out Loud. Go to We Are Latinos Out Loud on Instagram, on the Twitter, on the X, whatever you want to call it. We're not on the threads yet. We may be on the yarn, but not on the threads. I'm on threads, but I don't know what I'm threading. I'm like treading and threading. I don't really know what I'm doing. If you want to teach me how to use threads, holler at me, slide in the DM. You can also give us a call, no big whoop. Okay, the number is 978 Latinos. That's right, 978 Latinos. Dial it up the keypad. 978 Latinos, leave us a number. Shout out to this network. Shout out to everybody who's making this show possible. Thank you so much. And on that note, we out. Estamos aquí, we are outside. Yo voy a hablar en Spanglish, si está bien con ustedes. Sí, Spanglish, un poquito de español, un poquito de inglés. I am so honored to be here. Gracias a Amalia, Grupo Planeta, USA, y a todos ustedes. Ustedes están aquí, pero tengo una pregunta primero. ¿Estamos presentes? Sí. A little bit louder. ¿Estamos presentes? Yes. Me siento de corazón. That was great. Como dijeron, yo soy la loca del podcast. Una loca sí, pero una loca buena. No loca como, you don't have to worry. You can keep your wallets in your pockets. And not New York loca. But it really is un privilegio estar aquí. Porque este libro es un regalo, ¿no verdad? Es un regalo. Y hay muchos regalitos adentro del libro. And so I'm really excited to have this conversation. También estoy grabando para mi podcast because I want this to go beyond us right here, right now. Everyone, we should evangelize the messages that are in this book, porque todos los mensajes que están adentro, esto ayuda a la gente, ayuda al mundo entero. Conectar con las emociones, sentimientos. So I'm really excited to have this conversation. Amalia, thank you for being here. Thank you for talking to little Rachel La Loca.
Muchísimas gracias a ti, significa mucho para mí. Y muchísimas gracias a ustedes, me da mucha emoción verlos. Debo decir que no sé por qué cuando entré no sonaba como started from the bottom a todo volumen y ustedes tenían que desmayarse. Aló. No veo gente desmayándose, estoy decepcionada. Rachel, ahorita cuando tú querías animarlos y ellos no se animaban, es porque aquí hay mucha gente colombiana y nosotros tenemos un trauma con los recreacionistas. Es un trauma colectivo colombiano. Tranquilos que yo... gente, como en Colombia también arreglamos las cosas pegándole o soplando.
Well, I thought I was a comedian, but I think Amalia is outshining me right now. But I would love to start this interview with a quote that really struck me. I mean, había mucho en el libro, que cuando estoy como leyendo el libro, I had to breathe, you know. Después de leer el texto, yo me sentía como que tenía que como respirar las palabras. Have you ever felt that way? Where you have to take a breath and really breathe in what you're experiencing? And that's what I felt with this book. I had to take breaks, but good breaks, Amalia. Breaks to really have these messages penetrate in my heart, in my soul. I'm not gonna cry. Okay, pero I'm gonna read a quote about crying that really struck me. And I'm gonna start the interview with it. Lloremos en público, por favor. El dolor no puede ser algo que exista solo en lo privado. Manifestar el dolor en público es rebelión. Reclamar el espacio del que nos han echado como nuestro nuevo terreno emocional es
nuestra lucha. I had to breathe those words in, because a veces yo me siento que como llorar es sentir débil. ¿Tú me entiendes? That I'm weak for crying, but that is not the case. So I guess my first question is, yo tampoco sabía mostrar dónde me duele. Ahora lo tengo un poquito más claro. ¿De dónde venías que te llevo a escribir este manual sobre las emociones, Amalia?
Estaba en un lugar muy difícil. Creo que pasé unos años bastante oscuros, de mucha tristeza, de mucho dolor, de muchas muertes de mí misma, como de creencias, de herramientas, de resignificar todo, de la vida, mi trabajo, mi relación con todo. Sí, aquí hay gente joven, veo gente muy joven, me alegra. Porque a través de una auditoría que ustedes no ven, yo estoy chupando su colágeno. Pero pues después cuando ustedes crezcan les va a tocar hacer una cosa que suena chévere, ¿no? Que se llama sanar la niña interior, harto. Trabajo más difícil que he hecho en mi vida, o sea, eso se lo venden a uno y uno somos ¿qué hay que hacer? Dibujar, eso no quiero que me vuelvan. Entonces estaba haciendo mucho trabajo de sanar la niña interior, mucho trabajo de, en verdad, sanar la vida entera, porque además como yo soy overachiever, no solo sané la niña interior, sino como el bebé en el vientre. Se ríen, pero después van a ver cosas que van a hacer como, ¿por qué me reí esa vez? Estaba en un lugar muy oscuro, fueron años muy difíciles y fueron años donde sentí muchas emociones, que había sentido mucho miedo a explorar toda mi vida, y creo que enfrentarme con ellas y entregarme a sentirlas y saber que no se iban a ir rápido, y sentirme incómoda y saber que iba a estar bien, aunque por mucho tiempo dudé si iba a estar bien, me permitió, pues primero, entender la naturaleza de ciertas emociones y me hizo como con más anhelo querer escribir este libro, ¿no?
Yeah. Pero ¿cómo sentiste como escribiéndolo? Like, was it an out of body experience? How did you look en como like enfocar en Amalia de interior?
No. Sí, no. Eso no. Me parece muy interesante porque como que la idea que tenemos de los escritores es como Carrie Bradshaw escribiendo, así no funciona, así no se ve, uno se ve como, hay diferentes tipos, hay momentos donde sí fluye y es chévere y sí, yo también juego a ser Carrie Bradshaw y yo soy como, oh, qué lindo este texto en mi escritorio divinamente y prendo la velita y todas esas payasadas. Eso es como el 1% de las veces. Las otras veces es mi agente que está acá gritándome ¿qué escribas? Y yo y se lo mando y ella como y yo, Dios mío, ya. Creo que hubo precisamente, y por eso el libro viaja, es un viaje por diferentes emociones, entonces pues es tal cual, o sea, hubo partes de ese libro que lloré mucho escribiendo y que fue una escritura muy emocional, hubo otras que yo creo que ustedes sospechan, por ejemplo la del dolor, que es uno de mis capítulos favoritos, lo hice después como de estar en un lugar muy bonito, relacionándome con el dolor desde otro lugar. Entonces ese capítulo es difícil, pero para mí no fue difícil de escribir. Un capítulo, por ejemplo, que me rompió y que fue muy significativo para mí es el capítulo del amor, porque yo comencé ese capítulo escribiendo sobre amor y mientras lo escribía me di cuenta que el amor en verdad y de lo que yo quería escribir era de mi papá, que no está muy presente porque yo crecí en un matriarcado y mi pobre papá era como, yo no salgo en ningún libro de Amarita.
The Latinos Out Loud podcast.